to start off, congrats on the win. Awesome to see.
Thank you.
and
Thank you very much. I enjoyed.
yeah, yeah. And it's funny, Ricardo, he was telling me before the fight, that you were doing a lot of training in the mountains. I'm just curious how that was. And do you usually do that, or was that just to prepare for fighting in Mexico?
Just to fight in Mexico because
Hmm.
it's so hard the altitude there that we have to live in Mexico like for 3 weeks. So just to adapt to the city, to the altitude, because it's hard to fight there.
Yeah, I can imagine. And did you notice it at all? I mean, you looked fine throughout the whole fight, but did you feel like, oh man, it is kind of it's being a struggle here?
Yeah, I felt really good. I think my physical conditioning was on point, and I'm glad that I felt that good. I was a little scared of Mexico.
hmm And overall, how would you say that like the experience, was getting to fight at home in the UFC? Obviously things went very well.
Yeah, yeah, I was so excited to see everybody there, to see the crowd, the Mexican flags was awesome.
hmm Did you feel a little bit of any extra pressure because of that? Going home and all the families there and everything.
Not at all. I think totally the opposite. I enjoyed a lot my fight week, all my training camp there. When I went out to the fight, I saw all the people cheering at me, screaming my name, and I was so excited, so relaxed. I took it for a positive way and motivated me to give a better fight.
Yeah, of course. Too bad they can't all be at home, right?
Yeah.
And so this fight that you had with Vanessa was actually your third in 5 months, which is a lot for a short amount of time. You're staying very active. And I was surprised to hear you say in your post-fight interview that you want to fight again this year. I thought maybe you'd want a vacation or something after this one, but no.
Yeah, well, I feel good, so I think if a good opportunity comes up, I'm ready to take it. I'm not injured. If I'm mentally and physically good to fight, well, I think it's not an issue, but a risk will be great for me too. But I don't know. It can go either way. I'm open to just take some time and rest. But if a good opportunity comes up, I'll take it.
Yeah, yeah, of course. And speaking of opportunities, this might have been too short of notice, but Holly Holm, she fell out of her fight that's happening this week with Raquel Pennington, who you fought before your last fight. Did you try at all to fill into that one, or is that too quick? About that.
I immediately thought about it. When I just saw the news, I was like, me, me again. I can fight again just in 1 week. But I think the UFC has another plans for them. I think they want to reschedule that fight.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to wait for my rematch.
Yeah, yeah, of course. And speaking of pullouts, I guess obviously it was a bummer that you lost out on a fight with a ranked opponent in Marion Renault. But with an opponent on late notice, was it kind of nice to be able to just focus entirely on yourself rather than maybe thinking too much about what your opponent would bring, to the fight?
Yeah, I had to get more relaxed in the fight because I needed to figure out in the moment what she was going to do because I didn't have enough time to study her and there's not enough material on the internet about her.
Yeah.
So it was her debut. She was hungry. She was going for a kill, and I didn't know she was going to enter with a quick quick pace in the fight, or if she was going to slow it down. So, I had to figure it out in the moment, but it was a great challenge for me. I like the challenge because like makes me have more experience now in the fight. Now I know I can resolve a problem in that moment. I had a great partner. So yeah, she came tougher than I thought. She was receiving and she never stopped coming forward and she stopped. I think she deserves to win the UFC.
Yeah, yeah, very, very tough opponent for sure, and great performance by you. And I'm sure you're probably
Yes.
well aware of this. And I mean, I saw that you saw my post about it, but UFC Mexico City was your first time fighting on the same card as Alexa Grasso, your teammate, since Invicta 11 in 2015. Unfortunately, she didn't, get the win. But how was it getting ready to fight together on the same card again?
That's awesome. All my preparation, all my training with her makes all the training camp more relaxed because you're sharing that with someone so close to you because she's like a little sister for me. Me and her are growing in the same sport almost at the same time. So it was also motivating, and we had each other's shoulder for anything, and was right.
Yeah, yeah, of course. And another one of your teammates, Karina Rodriguez, she's getting ready for her big title fight coming up here next month, I believe it is. How has it been, working with her, getting ready for that?
Oh yeah, she's ready. She's looking good. She's training really hard. I can see her evolution now in the sport. She's also motivated for this fight. She's ready. She's gonna have a great fight. Tough opponent. She has a tough opponent, really tough opponent. I think she's tougher in her career, but this is going to be a good fight.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Can't wait for that one. And correct me if I'm wrong. Did you guys fight at one point, or am I thinking of somebody else?
Sorry.
Did you and Karina fight at one point, or am I getting confused?
No, no, never,
Okay, okay.
never. She once fought Alexa
Okay, that's what I'm
in
thinking.
Mexico at the beginning of their career. Yeah,
Okay.
not me.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, she's smaller than me.
All right. Yeah. And so going back to your fight with Vanessa, though, a clear win, great performance by you again. And even though you didn't get the finish in that one, it wasn't a very close or controversial one, like perhaps your fights with Pennington and Chukagian, which many people think that you won. Has it made you more motivated to go through those close fights to go and get finishes, after being on the wrong side of those close decisions?
I feel pleased. In this fight, I was finally to lose a little more in the octagon because sometimes with the nerves and with a lot of people seeing you and a lot of thoughts come to your mind, and it's a different scenario in the gym and in the octagon. I have so much more technique that I was showing before, and this time I get to lose a little more. I feel more confident in there. I felt more secure and started to mixing up a little more, even if I was taking some risks like new stuff like elbows, flying knees,
Hmm.
more kicks. So, and I think that was a great challenge for me this time, and I felt really good about it. Even more than for the loss, I'm sorry, for the win, I was more happy that the family was a little more.
Yeah, yeah, of course. And as for the rest of your division, the title fight is coming up here, UFC 245 at the end of the year. Amanda Nunes is going to rematch Jermaine Durandamy. I'm sure you have been keeping a close eye on that. Just curious what your thoughts on that
Sure.
fight, who you think might come out with the belt.
Well, I think Amanda got this. She, she's tough. She's uh, in her top of her career. She's well prepared. She's mentally ready. So I think Jeremiah is going to keep a good fight, an entertaining fight for both of them. But I think this time Amanda has it.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be a good one. I can't wait for that one as well. A lot of good fights coming up. Um,
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna to be a great card, entertaining card.
Definitely. And I just wanted to say also that you always seem so happy and positive from what I see on social media, which is really nice and refreshing because, some people, they do the trash talk and all that. And I wanted to bring that up because MMA fans, they can be a little rude at times. So do you ever have to deal with like any negative comments or anything like that?
I just ignore them.
Yeah.
Everybody is going to have an opinion every day. So I know that I don't need everybody to be agree with me in everything or be happy with my life. I just need to be happy with my life. And
Hmm.
well, I'm so grateful for the people who is giving me the positive vibes and they're cheering and they are supporting my career. All those people, I take all those comments, I take all those good vibes and take them with me, and that's what really is important. Everybody else, if they are not agree, if they don't like me, well, I don't really care. They, no, I can still wake up, eat, do my day every day. So I don't care about that.
Hmm. Yeah, great way to look at it. I totally agree.
Yeah, I just stay focused on my goal, on my career, and to give a good example for some people.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And so, one last thing I got here for you, Irene. I just have to ask about video games because I know you're a bit of a gamer, right? So I'm just curious, what games are you playing right now? I think I saw Wolfenstein you were playing today or something.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Actually, I have it right now. Open in my laptop. I was
Oh, my
playing
bad.
before I was talking to you.
Perfect.
Yeah, Wolfenstein. It's a great game. It's difficult. It's a great shooter. I think one of the best shooters that I have ever played. So yeah, I recommend it.